Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back yet again. We've been to the car wash, especially for Miss Ellie and of course Sir Neil, because they do like to make sure that the front end and the rear end are nice and clean as we go on our little travels in and around the area of Paphos. And of course, I invite you to come with us. Now, we're going to head up through the back streets of Armu, and we're going to go out towards Plemi, and we're actually on a trek out to our Gaka, but that's not going to be included all in one video, so don't forget to come back for that next episode. That's the Limassol roundabout, so we've just come off that and we're heading up towards Konya, and then we're going to go up towards Armu, and like I say, we're going to take a bit of a wiggle to the left, and we're going to cut through the back streets of Plemi and then eventually come to Stroumbi, and that's where we're going to conclude this little episode on the little channel known as Marika and me. I'd like to say thanks for coming back to Mr. Paul's Breakfast Club. One of you, two of you do seem to like it, and hopefully it'll become more and more popular as time goes on. If there's somewhere perhaps that you would like me to venture to, you drop it in the comments and we'll see if we can make that video happen, especially for you. Now, on that note, if you're wondering how the channel is funded, well, that's all down to you guys, and of course we do thank you from the bottom of our two hearts, and we really do. Somebody's got to pay for that benzene, that gas, that petrol that goes in the tank, and of course those guys are you, and many of you, and I mean that, many of you, and we truly thank you for it. Take the trouble to go through to our About page, where you will find the Buy Me a Coffee platform. It's now very popular all around the world. Most people know what it is. It's a platform totally safe and totally secure, and it allows you to buy a virtual coffee or two for some of the content creators on YouTube and other platforms that you may happen to like. And we do thank you for taking that time and the trouble. We really do. And of course we liquefy your cash into benzene, into gas, into petrol, and we continue to make these little videos especially for you. Of course you can help us out on YouTube itself by scrolling across where the thumbs up, that tells YouTube that you like what you've seen. Of course it doesn't cost you a single penny. You've got the thumbs down, we don't really mind, but keep going across, and you've got shorts, you've got downloads, and then there's a heart-shaped button with a little red dollar sign in the middle, and that's how you make a little contribution to the little channel called Marika and me. And we thank the people that do it. Lord Richie, we thank you again and again. Lord Derek Scully, we thank you. Lady Sharon, Sir Philip, we thank you. Lady Rachel, Sir Jason, we thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. Well, we're on the main road through, well, Konya village. It's not a village anymore, by the way. It's quite a sprawling metropolis. It's one of the most occupied areas in the Paphos area. Very convenient for Paphos, and of course very convenient if you want to fly up the motorway to perhaps Paphos Airport or further afield to Limassol, Nicosia, and even Larnaca. Yes, even Larnaca. The international airport, of course, truly is an international airport and literally hooks you up to everywhere. Yes, literally. Now, we're going to come into Armu village very shortly. We're not going to turn into the village, but we're actually on the main road going through it. So on the left up here you've got Armu, and then on the right you've got Marathonda. So two villages up, well, I'm not going to say up a mountain, but up a hill, looking down on the beauty and the spectacality of downtown Paphos. And today, well, I'm pretty sure you can see the sky is looking pretty blue. I promise you, when I looked out the window this morning, the sea was looking unbelievably blue. Mr. Paul is dressed head to toe in blue, so all that is actually missing is you. So why not get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy? Paphos, the island of love, Marika and me, are quite simply waiting especially for you. And there's many people coming to Paphos on those big birds, and one or two are coming on canoes, we know that as well. I think Biking Ronnie is going to come down from downtown in Denmark. Little Fart, I think, is just down the road from him. I think Big Fart is just up the road. But anyway, he's planning on getting a canoe and sailing into Paphos in and around the end of October. So he's probably set off already, because that's quite a long paddle. Kalimera to you, Mr. Ronnie. Kalimera. I hope you're keeping very, very well indeed. On the subject of wishing people a good morning, well, I speak a few other languages as well. So, Dislin Dobra, my Miss Anna. Well, she's not a miss anymore. She may not have noticed yet, but she's had a slight improvement in her status. She's not only the greatest lawyer in the world and a judge to boot, but she is now known as Lady Anna, my superstar. And that must mean there's a man in her life, and he must be a Sir. Sir Thomas, very good morning to you. And of course, if you've got a son, well, who's about to go and take his driving test, and we know he's going to pass, there's no problem with that, you've got to be known as Viscount Bart. Dislin Dobra to you guys, all the way in downtown Krakow, just further yonder in Poland. And we hope you're having a great, great day. And again, we thank you for tuning in to the little channel known as Marika and me. Now, we're up in the hills now. Where are we? Well, we are between Armu and between Episcopi, I suppose, if you kept going. But of course, we're going to turn off and we're going to cut through Memphis Hills. Memphis Hills? What's Memphis Hills, you ask? Well, that is a golf resort and a hotel complex, apartments and villas, and it's a bit of a spa resort. Lots of people like to go there for weekends and of course to play golf and perhaps for longer stays as well. But one thing's for sure, it's quite expensive. If you're on a weekend away there, the last time I looked, it was around about €1,000. Not saying that's not bad value. What I'm saying is, obviously, it's not chump change. No, it's not. And slowly but surely, we are catching up with a silver Mercedes SLK I can see in the distance. And that's the car that we are delivering to downtown Argaka. So don't forget to come back for the next couple of videos, because you're going to watch this trek as we go from Paphos to Argaka. I think it's around about 60 kilometres, wiggling, waggling B roads, and well, some roads perhaps even called C or D or F roads, but not a bad road. At night time, if you're going to go on it and you're not familiar with it, obviously take your time and be cautious. It's not that well lit, but it's not a dangerous road, it's just the people who are on it, isn't it, as we come to understand. So if they're high on life, shall we say, whether that be well, cocaine or alcohol, who knows, but if they're high on life coming in the other direction and they're on the wrong side of the road or the right side of the road, please be very, very cautious indeed, and don't speed, because more often than not there is a Gumbaro in blue standing around with his duffel coat on, because it's getting chilly at nights now. He's got a cigar in one hand. Yes, they've had a pay increase, so cigarettes are not good enough, so now it's the Romeo and Juliet in, and the big ones as well. Got a couple of frappes, or as it goes colder, they even switch to the thing called hot latte with a little bit of sweetness in it. And talking about sweetness, I haven't heard from my Gumbaro Daniel Mahoney for a while, and of course he's got a bit of sweetness in his life. Sherry Wright. And apparently they were coming to Cyprus, and I seem to have missed them, or perhaps their plans have changed. So Daniel, if you're listening, drop us a comment, because of course we are friends for life. And we were actually in the Paphos Diner only the night before last with two superstars, two early members of our family, and the one and only Jeff Hancock, and of course his beauty, Mandy. And we hung out. I had chicken souvlaki. I think Mandy had chicken souvlaki. Marika had some fish, I think it was, wrapped in bacon or something like that. And Jeff had a blue Angus burger. I tell you what, the food was absolutely excellent. And if you've not been to the Paphos Diner in Universal, it's worth a visit. So Paphos Diner, pop that into Google and up it will come. And my God, if you've not been there since last year, you's in for a shock, because that place has been demolished and rebuilt, and now it's befitting to the food that they make. They make very, very good food, and the service is exceptional. If anything, the service has got even better, I would say. But now, the building they're in is like a state-of-the-art modern restaurant, and a very, very nice place to sit and to chat with some very, very good friends, which of course Mandy and Jeff Hancock are. And we were sitting only a few nights before that, and Jeff was saying there's nothing better than sitting with friends and family. And he, warbled on for a bit like I do, and I stopped him and I said, "Are we finished now?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Do you consider us to be friends?" And he said, "Oh yeah, exactly." Friends for life, that's what it's all about, the little channel known as Marika and me. It's our way to connect with you, and hopefully when you come to Paphos, you come and see us. Maybe some of you don't like us, I don't know, but the majority of you do, and it gives us great pleasure, and you touch our hearts and you go straight to our souls. We'll never ever forget you, and we hope to meet you over and over again, and I'm pretty sure that we will. Wherever we end up, I'm pretty sure that our paths will cross again and again. And it's the unique thing about the internet, isn't it? You don't have to live next door to each other. You don't have to have gone to school, university, or work together, but somehow you connect, and then somehow you get on a big bird or a canoe and paddle like crazy, and of course you bump into each other. And you find out if you really, really do like each other. And of course, most of the people that I engage in the comments, and they engage with us, we are of a similar mind, and we get on like a house on fire. Now, this is it. This is Memphis Hills, the luxury resort. They're still building it, by the way. Lots of bits still to do, but the majority of it's done. The bits that are important, golf on the left-hand side now, and the restaurant and golf house is coming up. That's that little building here. Well, it's not that little, actually. Got a spectacular view down towards Paphos across the greens. It looks like the boss has had a new Porsche. There you go. Nice black parked undercover. He used to have a Range Rover, now he's got a Porsche. He's probably copped this Range Rover, and he's probably bought a Bugatti Veyron as well. On this side is the spa and a couple of shops, and again here you've got some luxury accommodation. So if you're looking for a great place to come and play golf and chill out, Memphis Hill could be that special, special place for you. There's the silver SLK. It's just come from the car wash. It's had, well, a bit of bodywork. Front wing had a bit of a crease in it. Front bumper was hanging off. The gentleman blames his wife. I think he's a bit of a liar, but he's a nice chap, and we won't tell him. And there was a scratch on the driver's door, and the sun had been nibbling at the paint on the rear wing. So we completely resprayed the passenger side, polished the driver's side, and sorted out his front bumper, and given it a good clean. And it's going back. That's his old car. He's actually got a newer Mercedes. Don't worry about it, Miss Ali. Well, Lady Ali, sorry. Sir Neil, we'll just circumnavigate this roundabout on the wrong side. We thought we were in Greece for a moment, you see. There you go. And they always drive on the wrong side of the road, don't they? It's like the Dutchies, they always pass on the left-hand side, doesn't it? Now, so, as I was saying, Mr. Smith's car up there, he's got a Range Rover, and he's also got a GLS Mercedes with four-wheel drive as well. He's got a couple of bob, but that was the car he first brought to Cyprus, if you understand. He bought it new, I don't disbelieve him, in 2005 or 2006. Brought it to Cyprus in, I think, 2009. That's when I first met him. And quite a good car, I suppose, for the summer, with a convertible top. And he's decided to keep it. As he said, it's not worth very much. We're going to chump change. So it's always a spare car, and not too bad for going down to the beach. And it's not a bad car. But the good thing about it is it's got a 3-litre V6 engine, so it's got a nice growl, and it's pretty swift. But on the bad side of it, the road tax is about 900 years a year. But as I said, he's got a couple of bobs, so he's not too bothered. And I think it drinks benzene as if it's going out of fashion. He said that his GLS Mercedes, much, much bigger, obviously, like a big Range Rover, and his Range Rover are far, far more economical. And yes, they are. But he bought it a long time ago. As I say, it's not worth a lot of money, so he may as well just keep it. It's a mug's game changing your car all the time in this life, and well, I'm guilty of that, as most people are. But as I say, don't buy new ones, buy second-hand ones. You know, if you want the best value for money, if you've got lots of money, you can buy a car 2 years, 3 years old and save an absolute fortune, isn't it? Trade it in a couple of years later and repeat the exercise over and over, and subject to what you're buying, you will not lose more than, say, 5,000 to 10,000 euros. A lot of money, but if you've got money, it doesn't really bother you that much, does it? In the lesser cars, you know, if you're spending 5,000 to 10,000 on a car that's, let's say, 7, 8, 10 years old, you're probably going to get 60 to 70% of your money back. So again, put a 3,000 to 4,000 to it, and you get to get yourself a new car. Anyway, that's the rantings of a car trader. And if you're wondering what we do, we've got a car body shop and car mechanics, and we dibble and dabble in the odd car or two. We don't buy and sell many. We're always looking for that. Well, as I say, an expat is getting on a plane that we happen to know, and then more often they say, look, it's worth, I don't know, it's worth 10, give me 7 and I'll be happy. And of course, I will bite their hand off sit on it for a bit, and if I'm very, very lucky, sell it to a couple of German Barus who are over in Germany at the moment. They're coming back in November. Mr. Dirk, Mr. Michael, a very, very good morgen to you. My God, what bilingual, multilingual. There we are. If Marika was here, she would be laughing her little socks off. There we go. We're up in, well, no man's land. We're heading towards Latimbu, but we're not going to get to Latimbu because at the bottom of this hill, we're going to take a left and we're going to head into the back streets of Polemi. And then we're going to bypass Polemi and then we're going to end up in Stroumbi. And hopefully, the boys in blue won't be standing outside the police station waiting especially for me. Well, maybe they are, but of course I'm not speeding, so it doesn't really bother me that much. The views out here, by the way, are spectacular. Lots of people live out in the hills around Paphos. Latimbu, that's what you're looking across now. Beautiful area. You've got Lamona further on, and if you keep on going, you can even go to Pananea. Doesn't mean a lot to you, but very, very significant in Cyprus. That's where the Archbishop Macarius was from, and he was also a former president of Cyprus as well. So great meaning to the island of love, which is the island of Cyprus. So we're wiggling and waggling now in the back streets. We're sort of bypassing Latimbu, and we're going to come into Polemi. Again, very popular with expats, whether they're living here or touristing here, or perhaps flip-flopping in and around the world, because lots of people, should we say, reside in Paphos but then flip-flop back to the UK or wherever they might be from. Lots of people work in the Middle East. Yes, they do. That's why Cyprus is so popular, because it's a great little hub, and wherever you want to go, like I say, Paphos Airport has got the word international in its name, and it's not a bad little hookup airport, don't get me wrong. But of course, if you do want to get to Dubai, if you do want to get to Saudi Arabia or further afield, Larnaca Airport is the airport for you. And it's only, what, 90 miles up the road in plain English, or about 130 kilometres if you're talking the European gobbledygook. There we are. I'm always confused by it. It's a bit like metric and imperial. Anyway, shut up, Paul. Did you know that an American gallon is not as big as a British gallon? There we are. Most things in British are much bigger, aren't they? Only joking. There we are. A little island that, well, is responsible for a lot of the problems in the world. Don't start me off. There we are. There we are. I'm proud to be British. I'm actually Welsh, but proud to be British. But I've spent an awful lot of my life living overseas. Egypt. I've lived in Africa. Where else have I lived? I've lived in Spain. And of course now I live in Cyprus. And who knows, I might go and live somewhere else. And eventually they'll put me in a box and just send me out to sea on a canoe and set me on fire with a big bit of Romeo and Juliet. What better way to go? And if I'm very lucky, perhaps they'll chuck my Rolls Royce in behind me as well. I haven't got a Rolls Royce, no, but you never know. One day I may get one, hopefully, an old one, a battered one. But as long as it's in black with a blue leather interior, Lady Anna, my superstar, the greatest lawyer in the world, she'll be very pleased indeed. Now, talking about superstars, there's a girl in charge of the little show known as Marika and me. We've entered Polemi, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you, our superstar Dame Anne. She's coming to Paphos very soon indeed. And oh my God, we're getting excited because, well, she's like our mother. She really is. She's the mother of the channel. We love her to pieces. And she'll be jetting into Paphos in just over 2 weeks, and she'll be booking herself into the Alexander, the great hotel, possibly the best hotel in the world. And she'll be feasting her eyes and digesting on that sunset from her top floor bedroom window. And most nights, hopefully, she's going to come out with Marika and me. And you never know, she might even say hello to you on camera once or twice, because she is an absolute star. There you go, we've just bypassed Polemi, so you didn't get to see a lot. That's Stroumbi in the distance, in the camera's eye, and that's where we're going next. And we're going to take a right and join the main Paphos to Polis road. That's the main road, and it takes you all the way to Polis, and then at Polis you take a right and you head along the coastal front road, and you end up in Marika. If you keep going, you'll end up crossing the border into the northern part of Cyprus. Totally legal, and you can do it, but if you want to do it, either you need a Cypriot plated car, so perhaps a car that someone owns or you own, and then you need a special insurance, which is only about 180 euros per year, or about 120 for 6 months. I don't think you can get a week anymore. I think the minimum is 3 months at about 90 euros. But be aware, that only gives you third party insurance. So in other words, it covers the damage that you cause when you're over there. It doesn't cover the damages on your car, and your insurance on this side, on the southern side, will not cover you either. Neither will you be covered for medical and all that kind of thing. So drive nice and carefully. And I've been over quite a lot of times, and to be honest, the driving, with no disrespect, in my opinion, is actually better over there. There's a lot of army driving around, so if you're a naughty boy, well, they're just going to shoot you on it. There you go. Now, we're coming to the main road that links Paphos to Polis, or Polis to Paphos, depending on which way you are coming. Obviously, we're going from the Paphos side to the Polis, so we are going to take a right. And this is where the video is going to come to an end. And of course, I'm going to say thanks for watching. And if you do like what you see, hit that like, click that subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter insanity. And if you want a bit of benzene, perhaps when you're on your trek from Paphos to Polis, right in front of us now is a petrol station. So there we go. We'll go up the hill, and we'll fizzle out when we get to the police station. But of course, don't forget to come back for the next episode, because that's going to take us from Stroumbi to Polis. Don't forget to come back for the next one, because that's going to take you from Polis to Marika on a truly, truly spectacality of a day indeed. It really is a spectacular day. Beautiful. Right at the end of August, the weather now, well, the temperature's down now a little bit, around about 29 degrees, and the humidity's coming down slowly. So we're living in downtown paradise. That's what we're doing. Thanks for watching, and of course, I will see you again very, very soon indeed. That's the Stroumbi police station. And all the Gambaras are having a frappe, thinking about lunch. Thanks for watching.